What's up, everyone? And thank you for tuning back in to the Skol State of Mind podcast. Within this video, I'm going to dive into the matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. Well, you guys know I always started off with a couple of initial thoughts, and I'm going to break it down like this. Vikings lose to the Falcons 22-6. Vikings offense could not get anything going and basically scored no touchdowns. I mean, seems like our biggest offensive weapon right now is our field goal kicker. And you can't have a successful season if that's the case. So let's dive into the offensive struggles. So I felt it was a lot of missed opportunities. You know, Vikings could not convert third downs that was basically given to them. You know, you got third and short, and Kevin O'Connell's passing the ball. I understand that we think that Kevin O'Connell is this great play caller, but sometimes I feel this team struggles when it's situational play calling. Meaning, if it's anything like third and short, I really don't understand why this team continues to pass the ball. I don't know if Kevin O'Connell is trying to keep the defense on edge, and it's like, well, they probably think we're going to run in the situation, and he calls a pass, but something is not working. And I think it needs to get addressed. It needs to get fixed because if we really want this team to be playing in February, this team cannot look like this, especially on offense. You know, so more about the struggles for the offense. Outside of play calling, I think Jordan Mason should be the first back on the field. And my theory with that is I feel that Jordan Mason leans on guys and he runs really hard. And if the Vikings are going to have this running back tandem, I think that Jordan Mason needs to be the lead dog, and he just gives you a whole lot more. It seems like the offense starts to pop, especially the running game, when Jordan Mason is in the game. And that's no slight of Aaron Jones, because some things that Aaron Jones can do, Jordan Mason can't. Aaron Jones is a great pass catcher in the backfield, but I think you can't open that up to the offense unless you're running the ball consistently. I mean, Aaron Jones basically dropped a screen pass that he could have probably took for like 40 yards this game, and like that kind of stuff cannot happen. Like it just can't happen, man. I just think this team really has to start to figure some things out. On offense. I mean, I do understand there's an issue now with the left tackle. We really don't know when Darisaw is going to come back, and it just makes me think like if he's not going to play the first 4 games, then maybe the Vikings should have put him on a short-term IR. And I just don't know what's going on there. I mean, I understood him not playing in Chicago because of the field and it was just resided. You don't want him to slip. But as of now, I'm just wondering when is he going to be healthy, because they basically benched Justin Skule today and they put in Walter Rouse. I get that. I understand that, especially because if Justin Skule isn't giving you consistent play and he's being the weakest link on that offensive line, you might as well go to the younger guy and actually see what you have in him. But now I'm interested to see what happens going forward, because if Darisaw's not ready, does the team rush him back because now it's a need, or do they continue to like let him sit and basically wait till he says he's 100% healthy? And that's when it goes back to my first point of saying if he's not going to be healthy for the first 4 weeks, it would have been more beneficial to put him on 4 week IR because you would have had an open roster spot. I just, I don't know. I I really don't know. I mean, one thing I can say will be a bright spot. Next game against the Cincinnati Bengals is the last game that um, Jordan Addison will be serving his 3 game suspension. So maybe that helps and opens up the offense a whole lot because Addison and McCarthy had a great connection in preseason. I hope so, but I just feel we don't know. But one thing I, I think we're not talking about the most is we're missing CJ Ham in, pass protection. CJ Ham is a number one pass protector on this offense concern when it's concerning basically the running backs because he's a fullback and he's great with that. I don't know. I don't know. It's just um I'm kind of like left asking a lot of questions about this offense, but I am more, a little optimistic, and I feel basically some of this stuff can work itself out with time, but it needs to go in the right direction. It it really does because as of right now, we can't rely on this offense to do a whole lot, and this offense isn't giving us anything, and it's basically making our defense get tired and look bad because it's not allowing us to have, you know, cohesiveness on the offense. It's not being a a one unit. So let's talk about JJ McCarthy's development. Now, going into this season, I mean, if you've been following this channel, you've heard me say it before that I think that we're going to have to wait to assess what we have with JJ McCarthy to after the bye week. And I said something of the tune of McCarthy might lead the league in picks the first 6, 7 weeks until he actually figures out his timing and gets things going. As Viking fans, I'm asking y'all out there, we got to be fair. It's completely different, right? We can't expect McCarthy to be playing in his first season, is basically his rookie season, to give us the same production that we had with Sam Darnold over Kirk Cousins. Like even though Sam Darnold was considered a bust when he came to this team, he still was in the league over 4 seasons, So he kind of already had, his lumps per se, right? So we're gonna have to weather this storm with McCarthy, and we we don't know what we have yet. And I said it in my last video that the best thing that we could do coming into this game was not expect him to have the magic that he had in the fourth quarter against the Bears. I mean, because the Bears basically shot themselves in the foot, and we can't wait to the fourth quarter for this team to actually perform, and we can't put it all on McCarthy as of right now because he's developing, and we have to be patient. There's going to be stinkers. There's going to be a couple of bad games, but let's just hope he can get these bad games out the way early, and we don't get to see him, late in the season and hopefully in the playoffs because they're going to come. But when it goes back to the play calling, I just think about it like this: like Kevin O'Connell has to do something to make the play calling and the offense a little bit more simple because it's the same play calling that he had with Kirk, same play calling that he had with Sam, those longer developing plays down the field. And if it's the same situation over again, something has to change, right? Because if you think about it last year, we were talking about the offensive line being completely like shit, especially in the interior, but it was still those young, longer developing plays down the field. Something has to change. It has to be some kind of quick game. Like Kevin O'Connell has to get out his own way. So this is just something that we're going to have to just go through. So let's talk about the defensive performance. Now, personally, for me, I feel like the defense didn't play bad. I think the defense basically was on the field a lot. So when your defense is on the field a lot, they're bending, but at the end, they're going to break. They basically only gave up one touchdown this game. Basically, it wasn't even that bad. They were winning this game on field goals, which was crazy because the Vikings still had a shot if they would have actually scored a touchdown in like the third quarter. But the defense, there's some things I have concerns about the defense, but a lot of it is surrounding the players that are injured or not playing. Like Harrison Smith still didn't play, Blake Cashman, didn't play, and Van Ginkel didn't play. I think Dallas Turner had a great game. He had a nice sack, but you can't have your defense out there longer than your offense, right? The defense played too many snaps again. And within this game, you can kind of see what teams are going to do to attack this defense. They're going to do shorter passes. They're going to run the ball through the middle because they don't respect us, our defensive line and our linebackers as run stoppers. That's what teams are going to do. So Brian Flores is going to have to adjust because if teams are not dropping back trying to go down the field, it kind of like it neutralizes the pass rush. It really does. So I think Flores has to do something and basically, get out of his own way too. I don't know. I think him and Kevin O'Connell need to have a heart to heart with each other and kind of figure out their respective sides of the ball. And I'm not saying defense is terrible, but I'm saying like you can kind of see what teams are going to do to neutralize the pass rush. They are going to run the ball through the middle and they're going to play quick game. So he needs to be more aware of this. He needs to do better. But that's pretty much all I really got. I mean, we normally do special teams and we do like key players of the game and X factors, but I really can't give you guys any top performers because I mean the Vikings, this was a horrible game. It was a horrible game. I expected a whole lot more from this game. I mean, especially me flying all the way out from California to actually come to the Viking game, to the season home opener, and for them to like not perform on offense, kind of gives it a bad taste. But everything else this weekend was great. But it's just I really wanted to cap it off with a Vikings win, and I would just be honest with y'all, like during the third quarter when the Vikings could not get a touchdown, I kind of felt the game was like slipping away, and it basically just did like. But just like I said earlier, these are things we're gonna have to go through. And if we don't go through them, we don't know what the team is going to be. It's going to build some character. So that's how I'm going to end it. And I'm going to get out of here because I'm basically, recording from the hotel room. So, Skol, baby.